Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard, and we'll be with you until 1 o'clock today, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Happy New Year to all of you out there in this 2020. I hope it's the beginning of a wonderful year for all of you out there, and hopefully a good year for the Auburn Blitz as well. We appreciate all of you out there that have been tuning us in last year. Hopefully you will continue to do that this year, and tell a friend. We'd always enjoy some more comments. Just dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, Sports with a Z, and comment away. But however you choose to tune us in today, whether that be TV or radio, we appreciate you being with us. A lot to talk about today. We'll give Brett a chance to talk about the bowl game that was Auburn falling to Minnesota 31-24. You don't have to, but certainly. I thought you might want to. Randy and I kind of felt better yesterday.
Oh, you got it out? Got out of the system?
We talked about it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Bounced it around a little bit. Already get a comment that says, Brett, don't hold back. Don't hold back on Gus. Turn it loose. Let it go. But we'll talk about that. The SEC basketball season will get underway this weekend. Auburn traveling to Starkville to take on Mississippi State. The Bulldogs 9-3 on the year. A big team. Bruce Pearl says thinks they're maybe the sixth biggest team in college basketball. So size will be an issue here for Auburn. Will it be the biggest issue? We'll see. But we'll kind of break that game down a little bit for you. Talk about what happened. It's 3 more bowl games before the national championship game, and you just thought you didn't care about the games before New Year's. You really don't care about these.
Nobody cares.
But looks like maybe a new coach in Starkville. Joe Moorhead.
No, there will be a new coach.
Apparently, Joe Moorhead fired.
He's fired. He's gone.
At Mississippi State. Kind of waited till after the bowl game. That's kind of odd. These days it is.
Well, Gary and I was on Gary Harris' show, as I am, every Friday, and talking Auburn up there in Tuscaloosa world. The timing's probably the biggest thing. I don't think anybody's shocked that Mississippi State parted ways with Joe Moorhead. We've said it on this show. Never was a fit. No. You know, guy has no ties to the Southeast. Comes down, takes a job in the toughest division in college football. Just not really where they wanted to go as a program. And, hey, kudos to them for going ahead and deciding that, hey, this isn't going to work. One more year is not going to make our program any better. Now Mississippi State and Ole Miss will have 2 new guys leading their programs. And so name that I heard, the Napier guy from Louisiana, that also coached on the same staff with Lane Kiffin at Alabama.
Right.
If he gets that job over there, I mean, that could be an interesting back and forth. You know, the Egg Bowl is a rivalry. It's vicious. It's not like Auburn, Alabama, and Ohio State, Michigan.
Bitter.
Well, it's just a lot of hate. I mean, there's no love lost there, and it's just nasty. It's dirty, and that's the reputation it's gotten. And, you know, Lane Kiffin's already over the top with the way he does things, and we'll just see how that all plays out over there in Mississippi.
Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers will join us in segment number 2. We'll get his thoughts on the bowl game. He was there on the field, got a bird's eye view of what happened. And talk about this Auburn basketball team, maybe preview that game this weekend a little bit. Auburn basketball school, we all know that, right? But Auburn basketball and baseball, that's something that has become something to look forward to now at Auburn. So at least when the football season does come to an end.
Made you a little bit more depressed.
It did, but hopefully that will continue. Again, we'd love to get your comments, hear from you. If you got any topics you'd like to bring up or comment on the things that we talk about, we'd love to hear them. We're brought to you each and every day by Russell Do It Center with 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply needs, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do It Center. They just opened a brand new facility there across from Publix on Shug Jordan in Auburn. It's a beautiful building. But there's one close to you. Even though it's been around for a while, I'm sure it's just as good as the new one.
Of course. Still got the same great product.
Still got the same great products, great service, great people. Mortgage Pro also, the Eric McKinley team. They're saving people money each and every day. Interest rates are great right now. It's a great time to refinance. If you don't know what your interest rates are, you need to find out. And you can give them a call today. They can help you out with all that. 256-397-0248. That's Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team. They located right here in Alexander City, but they service the entire state of Alabama. Well, Brett, I'll bounce it over to you. Randy and I talked about this yesterday. Minnesota, pretty much. I mean, it's hard to say, but I mean, Minnesota pretty much manhandled Auburn on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It ended up being a 7-point game, and it was an entertaining game. I mean, there was a lot of things that went back and forth, but Minnesota ran 75 plays to Auburn's 53. Minnesota had 494 total yards to Auburn's 232. It really was not as close as the score indicated.
Well, I said this on Gary's show this morning. You look at the first thing that stands out is the lack of being able to run the football. And we all know over Gus Malzahn's tenure at Auburn that if we don't run the football well, we don't win. And the passing game alone is just not good enough. There's been no advancement in that area. Let's just be honest about it. No sense to get mad about it. Gus Malzahn, since he's been at Auburn, is a 4 or 5 loss coach a year, period. And against top 25 teams away from Auburn, just not going to win. Just cannot win the games, cannot win the big games. Yeah, his record's 3-4 against Nick Saban and in Alabama, and that's way better than anybody else's. But that's not what you should be about as far as a program. And the 3 times he's beaten Nick Saban, we go and lose a bowl game right after it. So you end on a sour note. It's not a coincidence. He just refuses to change. We can sit up here and talk ourselves to death. We can make fun of the quotes, and we can say the press conference on repeat. But at the end of the day, is Gus Malzahn willing to do what Ed Orgeron did last year? And that's to notice what you're not good at and go out there and try to fix it. And you can say he went out and got Chad Morris, but I don't think anybody's convinced that he's going to turn the reins totally over to Chad Morris and all of a sudden this offense is going to get miraculously better. I hope it does. I hope I have to come on here next year and eat those words and people go, you remember that first show you did in 2020, Brett? And you said it. Look, nobody's hoping more than I am, but I think time tells us, history tells us exactly what we can expect, and we can expect him to do the same things that he's been doing. The game has evolved, and he hadn't. And he just refuses to change, and our run game's gotten worse. The passing game, the offensive line, you said it, the lines of scrimmage, we got whipped on both sides. And I know y'all talked about Kevin Steele some yesterday too, and the last 2 outings for our defense hadn't been pretty either. But the offense is the problem. You can't move the chains. You can't get first downs. It goes back to the Florida game. Auburn was in the game the whole time. If you could ever sustain a drive, you felt like you could win the game. You couldn't do it. So it just – and everything's gimmicky and at the wrong time, the fake punt. When the game was still in the balance and your defense was kind of playing okay, you felt like you needed to make them do something, and you call that play, and it turned out to be a disaster. So bottom line is, Andy, I don't think any of us have any confidence that Gus Malzahn's going to change his offensive philosophy. He's petrified to throw the ball over the middle of the field. He's eliminating 75% of the field right out of the gate. The only passes he throws are hitch patterns to the sideline. And once people figure out they can stop the run, they figure out they can beat Auburn. And if Auburn is fans and the university is content with beating Alabama once every 2 or 3 years and maybe beating Georgia here and there, and but losing 4 and 5 games a year, then he's your man. He's your man. That's just the way it is.
Well, he's going to coach in 2020. We know that.
Yeah, he's going to coach in 2020. He'll probably coach in 2021 too, and probably 2022 and 2023. I mean, I don't see. I mean, I don't know where we're going to see a change. And maybe next year, if Bo Nix coming back and being a sophomore, and all these pieces coming back, minus a few on defense, but the majority of the offense coming back. You'll have a new offensive line, which, Lord, thank you, please, can't get any worse. If the schedule's not harder next year, it's easier. I know you got to go on the road to Georgia and Alabama, but you add North Carolina,
Kentucky.
Who's
a good team now, but I mean.
Yeah, but it ain't Florida.
Yeah.
It ain't where they're going. So the bottom line is, are we going to sit here and listen to that again? Are we going to be told, it was a tougher schedule than college football? I mean,
Not next year.
That's what I'm saying. So do you expect Auburn, if you had to make an early prediction right now, what do you think their record's going to be?
I would expect 9-4.
Well, I mean, there you go. So, I mean, you already counting the Georgia and Alabama as a loss on the road. I can tell you those are the two. I don't know what Texas A&M will be.
Get LSU at home.
You ain't beat LSU in 3 years. I mean, what leads you to believe you're going to beat them this year, and they're coming off probably a national championship? I mean, you just –
Jamie reminds you that you refer to it as smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Thank you, Jamie. I do. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, man. A lot of smoke and mirrors.
Has anyone heard if Green and Malzahn will meet for an evaluation expectations for the program going forward? I have not heard that.
I mean, his expectations
I think they do that every year, though.
Should have been laid out 2 years ago.
I think they reevaluate every year about, what.
Jeremy said one more year won't make Auburn better. Alan Green needs to follow state's lead.
It's not going to happen.
That's not. Bo Nix is as good as he'll ever be, no development at all. I'm going to wait and hold judgment on that. Maybe Chad Morris can change that. I will say that. But we got Jason Caldwell coming up next.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Hidley Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, for your family at Hidley Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing. Service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing. Service at its best when you need it most.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. Going to go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers for the first time this year. Happy New Year, Jason. Happy New Year, Jason. Good to have you with us.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Doing really well. Let's just kick things off, talk a little bit about the Outback Bowl. You had a bird's eye view down there on the sideline. Was it as bad in person as it was on TV?
It was just a weird game, first of all. Because you look up and to me, there's no question that the way the game played out had an impact on Auburn's defense. I thought that, because you get the early turnover, you go 3 plays, kick a field goal, then you have a kickoff return for a touchdown, then you fumble a punt. You look up and basically the entire quarter's gone by and the defense has been on the field the whole quarter. I thought it had an impact on the day because it was warm for probably the first 2.5 quarters. And I thought the group got tired after, a month off. You can train and work out, but it's not like you've been playing football and like you've gone through it. So I thought that played a part in the game. But part of that, too, is they couldn't get off the field early on. And then so that was some of it as well. But in the end, it came down to running the ball, stopping the run. Minnesota was able to run the football, and that set up the entire game for them. And Auburn, once again, couldn't run. I thought Minnesota had a great plan. I thought they did a great job on both sides of the ball and really took it to Auburn. I thought defensively they did a great job by run blitzing early on. They said, look, we're going to force your hand. Auburn, in my opinion, could have thrown the ball to Anthony Schwartz 25 times Saturday, and every one of them would have been 6 or 7 yard gains at a minimum. They were not going to let him run deep, and you would have forced their hand eventually. And Auburn threw it 6 times. They were all completed. I thought every first down they could have thrown the ball to him for a minimum 6 or 7 yard gain, and to me, that I would have done it all day long. But I thought that, once again, it was a little bit too much of run on first down. And they had, I think, 10 first down runs, 9 of them called. Bo Nix had a 16-yard scramble. He had 1 7-yard run, 1 5-yard run, and then 7 of the 9 called runs went for 3 yards or less. So, once again, it was very, very similar to Florida to me. You kind of made yourself in too many third-and-long situations. Then Minnesota was able to dial up blitzes, and I thought, Bo Nix thought he played really well, but there were pressure times where he had nobody to go to, and you either take a sack or you get outside the pocket and try to make something happen. And so, in the end, it was probably a forgettable day more than anything because that was a good. I'll say this: people went into the game, and I think we talked about this, thinking this was Purdue. That is not Purdue. That's a much, much better football team than Purdue was, and they showed that the other day. But that's still a game that, with all those things going on, it's a tie game in the fourth quarter. And so I thought the lack of running game, and then, hey, let's face it, you get the big kickoff return, but the fumble punt was probably the football game in that regard. If you catch that punt, you got a short field of 50 yards or so with a chance to go up 17-3. I think it's probably a much different football game if that happens.
You're right, Jason. I think that was probably the crucial part of the game. But going back to what you said, the play calling kind of predicated Auburn to become predictable. You take the punt, you take the kickoff return out of the mix, you take the improvised play by Bo Nix to Sal Cannella out. Auburn really, I mean, the game is lopsided, point-wise, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah, there's several different plays that swung either against Auburn or for Auburn that kind of predicated that the game was tied in the fourth quarter. But I think probably where frustration set in mostly with Auburn fans, and you and I kind of talked about this off the air, is the substitution. I think Gus Malzahn is his own worst enemy because when we do go tempo, when we showed tempo in the game, Minnesota didn't have time to react, and we moved the ball. It was the only time in any of these losses this year that Auburn had success is when we were able to go fast and move the ball. But he's so, heck bent on substituting about every play, it slows down the offense and it plays into the opponent's hand.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much about speed as it is when you're not substituting. Look at LSU. LSU doesn't go fast all the time, but when you don't substitute, the defense can't sub either.
That's right.
What you're doing then is you're getting them in their packages. There's certain things they'll do in those packages, and then you run your offense based on that. Whereas when you start subbing, then they sub, and then you have to try to counter what they're doing. That's why you look up and then, okay, there's another play coming. You got to counteract what they do when they sub on defense. And to me, you're right, it takes all the momentum out, but also it allows the defense to dictate what you're doing. We've been talking about this for years. And I think when you can dictate what the defense does, that's when you win. We've seen LSU and Alabama do it. Nick Saban for years was saying, look, it's dangerous. You can't go no huddle tempo because it's dangerous for defensive players. You can't pry that out of his hand right now with a welding torch because it's a game changer when you do that. Because the defense, there's only so many things you can do on the defense when you do that. And once again, even on good plays, even on those successful first down plays, it was usually followed up by substitution instead of where we used to see some tempo going. But the other big part of that is too, when you can't have success on first down, you can't tempo, and that's the problem. You can't go run out there and go. So I think, to me, one of the things you got to look at right now is if you got Chad Morris on staff, you got Bo Nix, Seth Williams, Anthony Schwartz, a very good group of wide receivers coming in. You got to go and follow LSU's example. You don't have to go that wide open, but you got to do more things in the passing game next year to have a chance to succeed, in my opinion.
You hit the nail on the head, Jason. Man, we're up against the next break, but again, we appreciate you being part of the program every Friday. Happy New Year, buddy, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Sounds good, guys. Thank y'all.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, I got to do more with the passing game next year. I mean,
that's it.
There's no question.
What did I say starting the show? Yeah. You got Ed Orgeron deciding he's going to make a change. Gus Malzahn's got to not be stubborn and make a change for us to get better.
We're pinning our hopes on Chad Morris. Is that what we're doing?
I didn't say we're pinning our hopes on Chad Morris. Something's got to change in the passing game.
Up against the break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
I am Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Thanks so much to Jason Caldwell for joining us in the previous segment. Speaking of Anthony Schwartz, he apparently is going to make a decision this offseason. He didn't participate in spring last year. Doesn't plan on participating in spring again this year because of his track responsibilities. But he was, I did see where he was quoted as kind of saying, if he made an Olympic team, he would not play football again. But he's just going to kind of see how it goes with track as far as he comes back. So he's making a decision whether he's going to play or not. Auburn did not take advantage of his speed at all. Really.
Hadn't this been a problem for a long time with players not utilizing their abilities? Players going missing.
Oh yeah.
And, for weeks at a time, and we thought Anthony Schwartz was going to be a guy after the Texas A&M game. And I know he was a little hurt and banged up, but when he came back, did you see him a major part of the offense at any point in time, in any game coming down the stretch? The mismanagement of talent is another problem. And we've had some comments on here about Seth Williams. And I know you can't, if somebody's if you're bracketed and somebody's got you, fans can't see a lot of times the way a defense is shading to one side or the other. So maybe Seth Williams was covered up majority of the time, and maybe they were playing a little bit loose, like Gus Malzahn said, and weren't going to allow us to throw over the top as much. But at some point in time, you got to challenge that. You can't just concede that, okay, well, they got a guy 20 yards off the line of scrimmage, 25 yards. They're not going to let us throw a deep. At some point in time, you got to trust your guy to go one-on-one with that safety back there and see if you can catch a ball. Maybe you cause them to loosen up a little bit and change the way things are played. You can't just – he said he threw the ball 5 to 6 times or had 5 to 6 plays called deep. I didn't see a pass over 30 yards, did you?
No, except the one for the Sal Canella.
And that was an improvised play, right? So, I mean, there was no design
Well, look,
call.
you can move Schwartz around. Put him in different spots. Put him in the slot.
What about Jerry Jeudy?
Make the safety get on him. That's what good offensive coordinators do. They move their offense around. They move their pieces around and force you as a defense to get in a bad mismatch.
What happened on the first play of the Alabama game? Do you not think that Michigan watched film and thought, man, Jerry Jeudy has been going deep all year? You think that Nick Saban goes, well, Michigan knows he's been a deep threat. We're just going to call that off.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be like, you know what we're going to do? We're going over the top on the first play of the game and see if we can get a cheap one. And that's exactly what they did. They went over the top, scored a touchdown. Mac Jones is a good quarterback, but the thing that made him a good quarterback is that the offense for Alabama didn't change when he came in. They said, okay, Tua is a superstar at quarterback, but we're not going to change what we're doing. You're going to have to adapt to it. They still had all those dangerous weapons out there, the Waddles and the Judys and the Smiths and those type of receivers, and he threw to them, Andy. He threw to them in the Auburn game.
Well, go back to Florida and Auburn, the first series. They put their receiver in the slot, get him matched up on the linebacker.
On the linebacker.
It's a good scheme.
It is.
How many times have you seen that at Auburn, where a receiver was matched up had a bad matchup and won? I don't see it. I can't remember.
And Will Hastings, everybody was so on fire to get him back this year. They threw one. Bo now threw a bad pass. It was behind him. He couldn't catch it. Well, did they throw at him at all?
No.
He had no impact.
He might have had 10 catches, 10, 12 catches.
Don't even remember. And the ones he got killed. Most of them were in between coverage or on the sideline, and he got his brain racked when he got knocked out of the game. I mean, so a non-factor. Harold Joyner, if you don't know what Harold Joyner's going to do.
I feel sorry for him.
Well, it's at some point in time, and I'm going to say this, when does this start affecting your recruiting? Auburn has still been recruiting in the top 10, Andy, over all this. This is one of the best classes that Auburn's had in the last 15, 18 years, and next year's is poised to be even better. Have you looked at the top 5 guys in the state of Alabama?
We had this conversation, and I told you, look at the 2013 class. We pulled that class in after the 2012 season.
I know.
So I don't know how. I don't think it will affect Auburn's recruiting. The problem is you have top 10 classes and you get 9-win seasons. We could recruit 5. We could recruit in the 50s and have a Tommy Tuberville or a Dan Mullen hired coach and still win 9 games. So I mean,
well, we've also said that the way the schedule plays out every year, that you ought to be knocking on 8 wins right out of the gate.
Yeah.
With the talent and the things that you have at your disposal, it's those other 4 games that you're judged as far as the level of your program. And right now, it's not pretty for Gus Malzahn as a whole. You know, winning the Alabama game doesn't cure everything.
No.
It doesn't make all the world all right. You know, if the defense doesn't get 2 pick sixes in the Iron Bowl, we don't win that game either. The offense has had and I've got a problem with Gus Malzahn getting up in front of everybody and trying to make an excuse for how good this offense was this year. Man, just admit it. Admit in the games that counted that you laid an egg and that you had problems moving the football and that you got to change your philosophy and the things that you're doing moving forward to be competitive and win those games. That's what Ed Orgeron did.
That's the problem. He looked at this and said, he says, hey, we were 4th in the league in total offense, 421 yards a game. What's wrong? We just need to make a little minor adjustment here, a little minor adjustment. That's his thinking right now. But the problem is, as you said, Florida, Georgia, LSU, and Minnesota. Those 4 games, the offense averaged about 250 yards.
And what did you do against Oregon? The offense was terrible in that.
Nothing.
All right, if Justin Herbert don't have to go out of the game because of the, do they pick the first down? Do they get the first down? If they get the first down, the game's over, right? So they talked about it on the Rose Bowl. They talked about that game, how Oregon was in the same situation coming down the stretch against Wisconsin as they were against Auburn. They couldn't get the first down. Auburn got the ball back, made a play at the end of the game, beat them. They did make the first down play there, and they talked about Justin Herbert being out of the game. I mean, yeah, ifs and buts, candy and nuts, have a Merry Christmas. I get it. But there really two plays in both of those games, the Alabama game and the Oregon game, where you lose both of them too. Now tell me where the difference is on the losses for Auburn. Auburn never was in that Georgia.
We are up against a break. Love to hear from you. A lot of comments rolling through. We'll get to those if we can. More to come right after this.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neusen. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for just a couple more segments in today's show. A lot of comments rolling through. Patrick said it didn't look like we had a game plan on either side of the ball in the bowl game. I would agree. I don't know what our game plan was on offense. It was just like it looks like it has several times. It was just kind of like a mishmash, throw a bunch of stuff out there. And like Jason Caldwell, that throw to Schwartz, that was open the entire game, at least the first three quarters. It would have been. So I'm not sure why we didn't go back to that even more than we did at times. But it's neither here nor there. Gus needs to recruit Schwartz to play football, keep playing football. Gus probably want to make a DB out of him. That's what Jeremy said.
You know, moving on down, Stephen, in response to that, said, you know, why would he stay? What difference would it make? Every big game he's forgotten. Man, that's a problem in all of Auburn's talent. Forgotten guys, not utilizing, being stuck in a rut, going to the same thing over and over and over again, and no imagination. I said something to you during the break that when you want to analyze this deal against really good teams, Gus Malzahn can't make adjustments in game. And he gets out-coached. I mean, that's the bottom line. And against the Arkansas and the Mississippi States and Ole Misses and those on average, whatever you call pretty much works because you got better talent. Not every year, but most of the time every year, you got better talent. So, you can get away with some things because your talent makes plays. But when you play Georgia and Alabama and Florida and Oregon and those type teams, You've got to be able to make adjustments to what they're doing against your game plan. You can't just go out there and say, okay, this was my plan, and they stop and you go, oh, well, I'm just going to keep doing it until it breaks. You can't do that.
There's only one coach in the SEC he can out-coach consistently.
Nick Saban.
And it makes no sense whatsoever.
It does, and he's wondering that too.
Oh, I don't.
After he wins his ninth, has his ninth consecutive 11-win season. Ed said, or Johnny said, you can tell Seth Williams half the time is like, what are we doing out here? Running the routes. Johnny said NFL experts say Auburn wide receivers run the worst routes they've ever seen. That's a problem.
That is a big problem.
Jeremy responds to that and says Cody is referring to Cody Burns, a top-notch recruiter, but not a wide receiver coach at this level. I've kind of been saying that for a couple of years. Maybe one of the worst, as far as on-field coaches we have. You look and see. Ed said Gus needs that boss, a person that can open his eyes and to change or put heat on him so bad he wants out without a dime, a.k.a. Bill Curry. Jeremy said Schwartz should be running fly routes all the time. I've said this a million times. If you're not throwing the ball deep to Anthony Schwartz 4 or 5 times a game, you are wasting his talent. He's the fastest guy in college football. And all you're going to run is a little 5-yard hitch. I know that's what they're giving you, but again, you've got to challenge what somebody's doing at some point in time. You can't just concede and go, well, they're just going to back off. We're going to have to throw dink and dunk all day. You've got to be able to challenge it sometimes and see if you can win that matchup. Yeah. And they haven't been able to do it. So Jeremy said Nick Coe went missing and left, had unlimited potential. Talk about that, Andy, for a minute. The defense the last 2 games gave up the most points they gave up all year. We brag about the LSU performance, only giving up 23. It's the least amount of points LSU's been able to score all year. But in these last 2 performances, and I know the tempo and the way the game laid out had an effect on the defense late, But, man, that just didn't happen in the fourth quarter. Minnesota moved the ball up and down the field all day long.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn gave up 500 yards to LSU. I mean, they moved the ball. The Alabama game, that was so many big plays in that game. I think that's what hurt them the most. But really,
21 points against Georgia.
You started to see that, though. But only 3 drives. That's all they gave up. They did give up 3 touchdowns, but you started to see Alabama run the ball on Auburn. For the first time really this year, somebody kind of really start to physically move Auburn around a little bit, the defensive line. And I never thought it would carry over to the Minnesota game, but it did. And, I don't think it had anything to do with motivation. I don't think it had anything to do with being ready for the game. I think it was just, I think Minnesota completely, as you said, outcoached Auburn. They schemed Auburn. They took Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown out of the game by double teaming them on pretty much every play, and said, "Hey, if the rest of you guys can beat us, so be it." And as I told Randy yesterday, their running backs look better than Auburn's. Their wide receivers look better than Auburn's.
How would you know?
Their offensive line look better than Auburn's.
I mean, DJ Williams, what did he run the ball 3 times?
I think he was 5, maybe. Yeah.
And Cam Martin's not been an option, period. But then you get Sean Shivers out there, not much at all. I mean, I don't know that was the offensive line that bad at run blocking?
I would say
you can't
yes.
run the ball at all. 56 yards rushing.
That was bad. That was embarrassing.
I mean,
there's no question about that.
I know when the dust settles, Minnesota's 11-2. They lost to Iowa. They lost to Wisconsin. Wisconsin loses in the Rose Bowl by a narrow margin to the team that Auburn beat in Oregon. So Minnesota's a good football team. Tip your hat. They proved it on the field. You got to give them credit. It wasn't all about what Auburn didn't do. It's about what they did. So you got to give them some credit. But if you look at the numbers that you put on paper last week, the average player for them versus the average player for Auburn, it's night and day.
Well, I mean,
it's night and day.
I just go back to they gave up like 30. That defense gave up like 30 points to Purdue. That defense gave up like 30 points
to Georgia Southern.
That defense gave up like 21 points to South Dakota State. That defense gave up.
They had to go to overtime, double overtime.
I mean, they gave up a lot of points to a lot of different teams that are not very good.
Some terrible teams.
Now, granted, that was about midway through the season. I mean, they didn't, but they gave up a lot of points to Wisconsin, too.
Brent said, does Joe Moorhead fire and turn up pressure on Gus? No. If there's not pressure on Gus at this point, there ain't no pressure.
We're up against the break. One final segment this week. We'll be back with more right after this.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett taking you up to 1 o'clock here. Let's talk about some basketball as we close out the show in this final segment. Auburn traveling to Mississippi State. Mississippi State 9-3 on the year. As we mentioned, Mississippi State with a big team. It'll be an interesting matchup. I wonder what Javon McCormick, what his matchup's going to be. They got some big guards. 6'7" Robert Woodard. 6'4" Tyson Carter. You got 6'3" about Nick Weatherspoon, who's just come back. So that's going to be an interesting matchup for Javon McCormick for the guard play. Down low they got 6'10" Reggie Perry, who's leading them in scoring, a little bit more than 15 points a game, 10 boards. Also Abdul Adu, who is 6'11". So they got 2 big guys. What does Auburn do with that? Obviously, Austin Wiley's going to be a big factor in this game. Can he stay out of foul trouble? How well is Auburn going to shoot the ball from 3? You never really know, do you?
You don't. You and I talked about it. Offensively, got to get a lot better, especially on the road. ESPN matchup predictor has Mississippi State 51%. So they got it dead even, 51-49. Auburn's they're going to have to do the things that they struggle most of the time doing to win on the road, free throws. Can't be ice cold from three-point land. No. Wiley's going to have to be a presence inside, which he has been over the last 2 or 3 weeks, which has been a pleasant surprise. So, it's going to boil down to, can Auburn continue to defend teams like they've been defending them as well?
Yeah. Mississippi State, a very good rebounding team. Although they only average 37 rebounds a game, Auburn averages 42. So Auburn gets after the boards really well. They're much better defensively this year than they have been in the past. So here's an interesting stat. Bruce Pearl brought this up. It's funny how Bruce will bring this stuff out. A lot of times you might try to hide this. Bruce will bring this out and use it as a rallying. He said since 2001, Auburn's 2-15 in Starkville. That ain't good. I was actually there, though, for one of the wins. So,
are you going?
No, not this year.
Why not?
It was actually the last one, I guess.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I remember that.
So, there you go. But we'll see what happens. You think maybe Auburn, as we've talked about, on the road at Mississippi State, at home to face Georgia, on the road to Alabama, at home at Vandy, I think. You say
it's not
2
an
and
easy
2.
opener. I think if the offense stays the way it is, I think this is a team that's 2 and 2 after its first 4 games in the conference play. And I'm not being Debbie Downer. I'm just saying that there's 5 or 6. I told Gary this morning on this show. There's 5 or 6 teams in this league: Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi State, that can beat you anytime you go on the floor. And I didn't even name Vanderbilt that I think is going to be better under Stackhouse, and maybe some other teams that I didn't name. I mean, there's not a lot of great. There's not probably any great teams in this conference, even including Auburn, even though they're in the top 10. But there's a lot of really good teams, and I think I think Auburn, if they beat Mississippi State, I'm with you. I think they maybe go 3-1 in their first 4. But look, that's just the life of this conference. You ain't gonna go undefeated. You're not. I mean, so you got to be able to hold serve at home. Auburn plays Kentucky twice this year. They have to go up to Rupp Arena again, but they get them at home. It's a tough schedule. We know Florida had high expectations going into the season. They're still capable of catching fire and being a good team. I think Georgia's better. South Carolina's a team you got to deal with down the road. Frank Martin's a good coach. Tennessee's not going anywhere. I think Alabama may be playing as good or better than anybody in the league right now, because Perry actually decided to wake up and hit a few threes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough game on the road.
Well, you're right. I mean, Auburn's going to lose a game eventually. How do they respond to that? How do they come back from that? That'll be certainly something to watch as we move forward. Tommy,
I'll just stay right here.
Hey, go right ahead. You just do the show. You just want to close it out, mate.
I can. You can go ahead and leave.
Hey, offensive tackle Tommy Brockermeyer and his brother James Brockermeyer, who are Texas legacies. Let's just be very apparent about this. Their dad played at Texas. They are big time Texas. They're from Texas, but they had such an impressive time at the Iron Bowl, and who wouldn't have? They came for an official visit. Now they're coming back for an unofficial visit, and it just so happens to be the same weekend that all 5-star offensive tackle Broderick Jones will be visiting Auburn on an official visit. The week before signing day.
How about those two on either side of the ball?
I mean, and the guy and the kid in the middle. And they're twins, but one's about 3 inches taller than the other. I don't know how that works. But anyway.
Well, you get Jones and Brockmeyer on both sides of the line, and you get the brother in the middle.
Now Broderick Jones is 2020 class. Yeah. The Brockermeyers are 2021.
That's right.
But eventually. I thought that's got to be that's not a bad thing.
No.
To get them on campus for sure. This day, 1993, backup quarterback Frank Reich led the biggest comeback in NFL history, 32 points down, to come back and defeat the Oilers 41-38 in overtime. I remember the game.
I remember it too.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
On this day, 2005, Auburn defeated Virginia Tech in the 71st Sugar Bowl.
I was there.
Were you really?
Sure was.
Why in the world was that a 3-point game?
It was because that's how we like to make it.
Yeah. On this day, 1973, George Steinbrenner and a 12-man syndicate bought the Yankees for $10 million.
Really?
That's a good investment.
That's a good investment.
They're only worth about $100 million now, I think. So.
$100 million?
Maybe $1 billion. I don't know.
Yeah, you missed it by a long stretch.
Yeah. That's $10 million for the Yankees.
Pretty good deal, man.
Pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal.
Happy birthday today, Hank Stram, Bobby Hull, Darren Dalton, Jim Everett, Cheryl Miller. How about this? David Tyree and Eli Manning. Great connection there in New York.
Born on the same day.
Born on the same day.
They had that connection before they even knew it, right?
How about that? J.R.R. Tolkien, Robert Loggia, who was in Necessary Roughness, Glenn Larson, TV producer, Magnum P.I., Knight Rider. The guy was a hit show waiting to happen.
Your favorite.
Victoria Principal. Who didn't like Victoria Principal in Dallas? Jim Ross.
Bobby's wife.
Yeah, Bobby's wife. Mel Gibson, born on this day, 1956. And Winnie Cooper. Who was not in love with Winnie Cooper? Danica McKellar.
Yep.
Born on this day, 1975. Happy birthday to all of you out there. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for us on the Auburn Blitz. Second show of the year.
Yeah.
We're getting this thing kicked off right.
That's right.
A lot of angst in the Auburn community.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be an Auburn show without it.
It would not be an Auburn show without it. But we're going to take a break for a couple of days. Brett will probably be with you tomorrow morning.
I will.
Be sure to join him for that, 7 o'clock early. We'll be back with you on Monday. So all for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.